Hey, hello guys. Charlie, what's up? Alright, so I want to do this very quick. I didn't expect to be doing this 4 years after we have named an SMP in this market. This is Tech Focus 24. My name is Sami Dowona and this is the Big Tech GH. Alright, so I didn't expect to be doing this at this time 4 years after we have named an SMP in this market. Okay. I would have expected that people now understand what SMP is about, because even 6 months before we named an SMP in the telecoms market, i.e. MTN, I had written about it and quite a number of times because I wrote about it December 2019, and then June 2020, MTN was named an SMP, and since then we've talked about it. We've talked about MTN's SMP situation in relation to several things that are happening in the industry. So you would expect that people understand what is going on. But I've read at least 2 comments on my Facebook wall, and it tells me that people still don't understand what SMP is and how it relates to the data prices increase in Ghana, and the fact that NCA or even the government or regulator, it's playing a role in this whole thing. That is, it's somebody came to me clearly and said that to suggest that MTN's the price increases on MTN is by the directive of NCA is propaganda. I'm like, guys, don't you understand what is going on? It's strange that people still understand, and this is a very good friend of mine, and it's quite clever. But clearly he doesn't understand what the SMP thing is about. Another guy too came and said that, well, look, SMP is meant to bring prices down, and yet when it was coming, media people were against it. Which media people? I mean, I wrote about SMP and it was MTN was named SMP. So which media people were against it? I don't get it. And where did anybody suggest that SMP was going to reduce prices? It's strange. These things are strange, and this has been 4 years since we named SMP, and people are still confused about what this whole thing is about. It's strange. So please, I want to do this one time. I wanted to do one-on-one with anybody who comes to put out any confusion about SMP. So I want to do this one time. Now we all know that data prices, there's a huge campaign going on right now in Ghana about data prices, which is too high. Now, SMP, what is SMP? Maybe let me explain what is SMP. SMP simply means significant market power. If a particular player becomes so big so that their size begin to pose a threat to other players, or even a threat to the entire industry, but even ITU, International Telecommunications Union protocols, what it means is that that player becomes so independent of the rest of the industry, so that nothing that is done, nothing that anybody does, any other player does, whether it's a regulator, and for any other stakeholder, whether it's a regulator, any other telecoms player, no matter what it does, it doesn't affect this player in any way. When it gets to that point, we say that player is a dominant player, and by law they should be named a significant market power. Once you name a player a significant market power, now the regulator has the right to begin to put some control measures on that particular regulator, not on the rest. The rest are still free, because in Ghana's telecoms market, know that nobody controls prices. Regulator doesn't control price. The regulator doesn't control anybody's price. But once you name an SMP based on their size, you begin to control them in certain ways. And in Ghana, NCA put out 7 specific ways of controlling the SMP. And remember, our national communications policy says that if a player becomes 40%, begin to hold 40%, market share over a certain period, they should be named an SMP. MTN has had over 50%, 60% market share for many years, way before even the 2020 that they were named. So they should have probably been named SMP like 15 years ago. But for some reason, subsequent government refused to do that. Now this government has found a need to do it, and they've done it. Okay, so now the control measures include the fact that, please listen carefully. Those of you who say that when we say government is the one that asked MTN not to have the lowest prices, it is propaganda. Listen, please listen. It's for you to learn. It's not for I'm not calling you out, but I'm saying learn. Let's all learn. That look, out of the 7 measures, and I'm not here to discuss the 7 measures because we are talking about price. So let's focus on that one. 7 measures. One of the measures was that NCA is supposed to control the prices of MTN. And why? Because MTN is so big that they are the only player that can reduce prices to the barest minimum and still make money. They are the only player that can reduce prices. They can in fact, they can even make certain services on their platform free and make money from other services. That's what we call cross subsidy. They can do cross subsidy, and cross subsidy is an anti-competitive, it's an anti-competition move, which is something that the regulator must control. Okay, I don't want to accuse MTN, because I can give you examples of some cross subsidy that is going on MTN because of their size, because they are so big and they can afford to do it. So the regulation says that now that they've been named an SMP, the regulator must control their prices so that they will not price out the others. In other words, so that they will not reduce their prices to the point where everybody will now come and join MTN, so that the others will not get any customers. Remember, those of you who are saying that when we say price control, the price increase on MTN is an instruction by NTA, is a propaganda. Listen, remember that MTN used to have what we call data zone. NCA asked them to collapse that thing. Data zone was a very cheap data package. They asked them to collapse it. In fact, they found ways to even push through the data zone. They were warned that if they continue to do that, they will be sanctioned. The NCA Director General held Meet the Press. If those of you didn't follow the Meet the Press, or when you were listening, you didn't listen to hear what he was saying, he clearly said that they have been warned that if they come up with this data zone again and they begin to offer lower prices to then make it difficult for the other competitors, other telcos to survive, they will be sanctioned. Didn't you listen to the NCA Director General when he was doing his press Meet the Press? I don't get people. People don't pay attention to what is happening in this market. Then when they make it look as if it is MTN that have decided they want to increase prices, and then no. The instruction to MTN was clear that they should not have the lowest prices in this market. We have written about it several times. People don't read. People don't pay attention. In fact, to the point that there are some people at Ministry of Communications came out to put out some press, articles, very, very ignoramus articles, saying that MTN can also reduce prices to come and meet the others, blah, 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 blah. The regulation says that they cannot do that. They cannot lower prices because they are the SMP. Because they lower prices and the others cannot compete. What is it that those people don't understand? We've been saying this thing many years. And listen. People, another person told that SMP means that prices are going to go lower. No. What it means is that the other smaller telcos, they cannot afford to reduce prices, because they reduce. Look, now MTN is an SMP. If we leave the SMP team today, trust you me, it will take us 1 month. The other telcos, they will collapse, because MTN has got what it takes to lower prices and give us all the kind of affordable things that we want, to make the others totally useless. Let's be clear. When was MTN declared SMP? 2020, right? At the time they were declared SMP in 2020, they had about 55% or so voice market share and about 72 or so percent data market share. As I'm talking to you now, they have crossed 80%, even after their SMP. So it tells you that if you leave this SMP thing, they will collapse the market. So that's why NCA forced them to say that, look, price above the others, so that the Ghanaians will find the others a bit, viable in terms of the prices, so that they will not abandon them. Because if you price below them, that's the end of we are going to have a monopoly in the market. What is so difficult about this for people to understand? What is so difficult? Sorry, it looks like I'm yelling. Sorry, it looks like I'm speaking passionately. But sometimes you need to speak in those terms so that people will get it. What is it so difficult about this that people don't get? That is what bothers me. It's been 4 years since MTN was named SMP, and we are still not getting it. That they have been ordered not to price below the other players, and the reason why data prices are relatively higher on MTN because the other players too cannot price lower than they are pricing now. So SMP never means that prices are going to go low. No. It only means that MTN, the others will have lower prices than MTN, but it doesn't mean that generally prices are going to go down. No, it means even if the others offer 20 cedis per gigabyte of data, MTN should have maybe 22 cedis or something. Yes, because they say cannot do it more than 10%. So the maximum they can go is 22 cedis. That's what it means. It doesn't mean the others are going to reduce prices. No, because if they reduce prices, they are going to collapse. Boys, girls, men, women, friends, please, do you now get the SMP thing? Do you get it now? Let's get it. Let's get it. As is related to data prices and voice price or telecom service price, whatever it is. There are other measures that have been put in place, like national roaming, tech neutrality, asymmetrical interconnect rate, and others that have been put in place, all in an effort to make sure that the others don't collapse, that our market does not slide into a monopoly. Guys, I hope this settles the matter in your mind as far as data prices and as they relate to SMP, MTNB and SMP is concerned. Stop using the words like when we say government or NCA is the one that is insisting on MTN not having the lowest prices in the market. It's propaganda. If you say that, you are sounding, I mean, it's like, Charlie, it's not propaganda. It is the fact. It is the fact. And please stop saying that SMP means prices are going to go lower. In nowhere that has anybody suggested that SMP means prices are going to go lower. Please. This is why I had another edition of Big Tech GH on Tech Focus 24. If you still need clarification, please reach out to me. I've talked about it several times, but please reach out to me in my inbox and then we can talk about it. God bless.